Starbane's Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods.
AKA it's April Fools, but we're going to run the jewels on some fools.
That's right, aka one Salmon Couchy, two fans of Fauci, aka my wife is working in the backgroundy.
Yes.
Guys, how are you? Hope all is well. Happy April Fools. I hope you pulled some sort of a prank on someone.
Or
that
maybe
you know.
not. We don't need to do that.
Prank them. Prank them.
I say don't prank them.
I say prank them.
No need.
As long as it's fun, you can prank them. If it's small, good fun, I'm down for that. But big pranks, I'm not down with. But small pranks, I'm down with. And there is a line, and you got to know that line. All right. We got stories. We want to get into one for you. I hope you're doing well. And I hope this podcast is still engaging you in moments when you need it. When you wake up in the morning, if you're taking a walk, walking the dog, doing the dishes, however you do it, however you engage with this. Our buddy Chris Stackhouse, after he puts the twins to bed, he listens to the podcast. It just is his way to sort of wind the entire day down in a good way. I love it.
Yes.
Tweet at us and tell us how you engage with this podcast when we listen to it. I always love that stuff. All right, let's jump in this.
All right.
Do you remember our grade school principal? So we went to...
Are you asking the audience at home?
Do you guys remember Kenneth Russell?
I do.
Jay does. So when we were kids, we went to one elementary school to fourth grade, and then we went to another one for fifth and sixth grade.
Right.
And the other one, fifth and sixth grade, Belle Reve Elementary School, and our principal his name was Kenneth Russell. Mm-hmm. If you looked in the dictionary under the word divorcee, his picture, like him leaning on a Porsche.
Didn't he have a Porsche?
He was a principal at a public elementary school, and the dude drove a 924 turbo Porsche. And yes, it was red. It was redder than his face.
Yes.
His face was so red.
Didn't he kind of have red hair? He was bald.
He was hair on balding, the side. Red
How
face.
How old do you think he was?
He had a red face of a man who had drank a lot the night before.
Right.
With the secretary pool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was a bald, short, red-faced, middle-aged, pudgy guy who, again, probably had an affair illicitly with the mimeograph woman. He was not a good principal. He was a dick.
He was a dick.
He just was.
He really, really was.
But at least he was not trying to maniacally sabotage other students.
Like this next woman.
And her daughter. Okay. Remember the way we used to tell ourselves how to spell principal, Jay?
There's principal. So principal... Like if you're doing something on principle, unlike the two people in this next story, it's PLE. Uh-huh. If you were talking about your principal,
it's PAL. He or she is your pal.
Your principal.
Well, this principal is a bitch
and
has no principles. There we go. All right. This is the story. The crown doesn't appear to fit. Sorry, Queen. Are we talking about The Crown on Netflix?
Are we talking about The Crown on Netflix? Did Billy Porter write this?
That's a great question, too.
Or are we talking about Oprah's interview with Meghan Markle?
Mm-hmm. A Pensacola teenager and her mother, an elementary school assistant principal. Key to know that she's an assistant principal.
Is she an assistant to the principal? Or she's an assistant principal.
Were arrested Tuesday for allegedly hacking hundreds of students' accounts to fraudulently vote for the teen as homecoming queen in the fall. This is the only fraudulent voting that has happened or been found in the last several elections.
Are they blaming Dominion machines?
I don't know. So the principal was just an assistant principal, which she has cards that are printed up that just say principal on it, that she gives out to people when she's not at the school.
Right.
Like on her business card, does not say assistant at all. She's that type of gal.
No.
Lori Rose Carroll, 50.
Wait, what's her name?
Laura Rose Carroll.
That's like we have 3 first names.
And her 17-year-old daughter, Emily Rose Grover, have each been charged with offenses against computers.
Wait, so her daughter has the same middle name as her?
Right.
Already something is off.
Well, that might be her last name. I don't know. Nothing's hyphenated, so we don't understand it. With offenses against computers, unlawful use of two-way communications device, criminal use of personally identifiable information, and conspiracy to commit these offenses. By the way, 50, that's our age. Mm-hmm. My daughter will be 17 when I'm 50, so this rings true to me right here.
In the wheelhouse.
I can't even imagine how annoyed I'd be if my 17-year-old asked me to launch a computer scam where we fraudulently had students vote for her for something at her school.
I'd be like,
I'm
that's
so tired.
Too much for me to take on. You do it.
Can we just watch 2 episodes of Disenchanted, please? I'll make 3 TikToks for you. Just tell me what to do. I'll run. I'll sassily walk forward. hacking into students' accounts at your school to fraudulently vote for you, to me, feels like a lot of work. Doesn't that feel like so much extra work?
I mean, I guess it's engaged parenting, but
An investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. I love that they're now involved. They don't have anything else. Like, everything's opened up there. They're basically business as usual.
This feels like something they could just let slide.
Like the school board should be handling this one. Began in November when the Escambia...
Are they engaging SWAT for this?
Probably. Escambia County School District reported that hundreds of student accounts had been illegally accessed. They were like, wait a minute, I didn't vote for this bitch.
Right?
Investigators determined that Carol, an assistant principal at Bellevue, we went to Belle Reve. She was assistant principal at Bellevue Elementary School, and her daughter, a student at Tate High School, had accessed students' Focus accounts.
Focus, I guess, is their student accounts.
Isn't that the dumb name that's... Come on, students, access your Focus accounts. That's like such a school board way to describe your computer account is that it's called Focus.
Log into Focus.
Everybody focus up and log into
Focus.
Focus.
Get into Focus, literally and figuratively, and then we can start class.
By the way, this was the only good thing that having a mom who's an elementary school assistant principal in the system, that assistant principal, that's the only good thing that she brings to the table in this, right?
And she knows how to log into other people's Focus.
Access. Yeah. Therefore, access to power. The FDLE said Carol had district level access to the school board's Focus program, the student's district student information. Wait, she's an assistant principal.
How does she have so much access?
At an elementary school. Her biggest responsibilities are to manage the egg toss and scoop out the gerbil when it dies and flush it. You know what I mean?
May he rest
That's
in peace.
it.
Yes.
Make sure there are enough cakes for the bake sale. How the hell does she have this high stakes clearance, man? She's security clearance. The investigation came after hundreds of votes for Tate High School's homecoming court were flagged as fraudulent, with nearly 120 votes coming from the same IP address within a short period of time. Okay, so that's...
Okay.
Why does
you left a digital trail.
You did.
Dummy.
Why does the Tate High School homecoming court's voting system feel like it's more attuned to voters than the state of Georgia?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
As soon as some shit goes down, people are like, we are on this right now.
Yes.
Nobody's going to suppress or fraudulently cast a vote at Tate.
I'm not even joking. I feel like she is more qualified to serve on this court than Amy Coney Barrett.
Yep. Investigators linked unauthorized access to Focus to Carol's cell phone as well as computers associated with her home address, with nearly 250 votes have been cast for the homecoming court. They probably only check where they're like, how the hell is this Emily Grover's kid? How is she winning?
How is she at like 800 votes?
Right.
Like normally we don't even have 200 people who vote. Wait, let's take a break. And
We'll come back. We'll get the rest of
the
the story because I want to get into what the homecoming court, to me, it's like
what it means
and what it should be doing. We'll do that after the break. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We have got the live Dumb People Town happening on April 10th. Please get your tickets. It's going to be so much fun. Go to eventbrite.com. It's Ryan Sickler. He's one of the best guests ever. He does the Honeydew, which is a fantastic podcast.
So
We're going to
good.
combine the two. It's the Honey Dumb. And then, of course, the Cactus Blossoms. They're awesome. So do that. And then follow us on Stereo. Join us for these discussions that we have where you get to leave voicemails. It is so much fun to hear your voices, to respond directly in real time to you. It's a great discussion.
It's amazing.
Stereo app. It's free. Download it. Follow us. All right. When we left, a mother who is an assistant principal at an elementary school helped her 17-year-old daughter at the high school win a spot on the homecoming court, which apparently she should have had. And then they realized that, like, again, they did a better job of tracking the voting than a lot of times in regular presidential elections.
And I will say this, on some level, it is a mom and a daughter doing something together.
Yes, it was fraudulent. Okay. Yes, it was an abuse of power on the highest level by an assistant principal of an elementary
yes, it
school.
could have caused emotional damage to the rightful winner of the homecoming court slot that she took.
But at least they're scheming together. It's nice to see a 17-year-old daughter doing something with her mom, right?
Yeah.
Investigators said multiple students reported that Grover had described using her mom's Focus account to cast the votes in her favor. So did the mom know about it? She had to have known about it. Was she pushing for it, Jay?
Probably, yes.
Homecoming court is by any means a necessary court. Nobody asks how you made it there. They just crown your ass once your name is called, right?
And to call it a court.
That's it. We'll get into it.
Court?
Carol was booked onto the Escambia County Jail. She was sent to
She was
jail.
booked onto it or into it?
With a bond set at $8,500 while Grover was taken into custody and transferred to the Escambia Regional Juvenile Detention Center. They went to real court.
Well, she got into some court.
That's right.
She got into court one way or the other.
Can we talk about the importance of the homecoming court for a second, Jay?
I would love to.
It is the most fleeting victory in the history of any to be appointed to the homecoming court.
Agreed,
right?
yes.
Yes, that is a lifetime appointment. Okay, we agree with that. All right.
You can lord it over people forever.
But you better vet these people. Okay,
That's true.
For real.
Yeah.
How important is this thing, Jay?
It's not like student government
Or class president where you actually have responsibilities, right?
I don't even know if they have parades.
Most high schools don't have parades, so you're not even going to participate in a parade. So your name's going to get called at a dance. Maybe you get to dance first. Maybe you get to
get to walk up in front of everyone, and I think you
at a
hold
football
a
game.
Scepter.
At a football game, you come out at halftime of the homecoming game, and that's it.
I think you hold a scepter, and you can order that someone be killed.
That's right.
But beyond that, I think there is no power
Or
to
castrated.
a homecoming king or queen.
That is it. It's a show of total popularity, so that people
you
will.
could rid the school of all Jews if you're homecoming.
That's
king.
right.
Past that, you don't have much power.
People will cheer that you're the hottest person in your school. That's all it is, a popularity contest. So
it is a looks thing.
what is that what you're voting for? What are you voting for? The best looking? For the most schools, I think that is it. Are you voting on issues? Abortion? Separation of church and state? If you kick Jeff Laramie's ass at sophomore circle out by the tennis courts, is that what you're voting on?
I don't know.
What does it say about you that other kids vote for you for homecoming court? I'm seriously asking you, Jay.
I don't know.
How should you feel when you win?
I think for a second you feel good and excited that your name just gets called, almost like winning a raffle. But then it has to feel like a hollow victory, even if it's earned.
That enough people think you're what? Cool? And if people think you're cool in high school, in my opinion, you probably are not going to be cool in life.
Right. So you run the risk of, you almost don't want to have too many great moments happen in high school. Because
you don't want to peak too early. It's like that kid who summited all the world's highest peaks.
He climbed Mount Everest. He climbed Mount Everest.
At age 14. He literally peaked in high school.
Yes.
If ever there was a vote that could probably and should probably be stolen fraudulently, it's the homecoming court vote.
Yeah.
That this elementary school
We should let this
principal,
happen.
right?
We should totally let this slide.
I've seen many a homecoming court in my day and never stopped to ask the question, what are we voting for?
Right.
And,
or never thought to say, how much oversight do we have over this election?
and I don't want to overhaul the whole system, but we should look at making the homecoming court more important, shall we? More impactful.
Or maybe perhaps like the homecoming court could be appointed by like our
This
leaders.
is my pitch for the homecoming court. All right. Homecoming court should, for 1 week after they are voted in, be able to preside over all small claims in that town.
Love it. In the town or in the school?
In the school or the town or the neighborhood or whatever.
Okay.
They should be able to decide rent disputes.
Yep.
Custody ballots.
Yes.
Wage garnishing. Slip and falls.
Yes.
These are often dumb teenagers, but they should be able to decide at least one libel or slander
Just for
case.
a week. It's almost like a
How
like
cool
a
would
legal
that be?
purge.
You
Yes.
better hope that your thing doesn't get on the docket, or better, you hope it does.
If you know how to work these people,
Put some skin in the game. Make these kids earn their titles.
I'd love
Right?
to see it. I'd love to see it.
All right, guys, that's a show. That's how we do. I love it. We love doing this show for you guys. Stay connected, stay protected. Don't get infected. This is not a hoax.
But we got the jokes.
Remember that. This is not a hoax. This is a real thing. Get vaccinated, please. Wear a mask, please. Stay distant still, please. And we will get through this, and we'll see you guys out in person, probably in the fall if we can do this thing together, and we can. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, though, first.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.